everyone. Thanks again for tuning into Stan's Workshop. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I am slightly congested today, so pardon me. In any case, today we're going to be talking about Witch Haven. So you got my resting witch face t-shirt on today. Ooh, I should have worn my witch's hat. I don't know why I didn't wear my witch's hat. First, this was the Bookish Box exclusive edition, so it is different. Sorry, I have my finger holding a page because there's an important quote. Reversible dust jacket. Try not to lose my page because I really want to talk about this quote. Isn't that gorgeous? Sprayed edges, cover. I just like showing off my special editions when I can. And I think any bookish lovers out there or fellow Bookish Box subscribers will understand. But in any case, this novel follows Frances Hallowell. I keep just wanting to say Halliwell, like Charmed. OG Charmed, not remake Charmed. I always want to call her Frances Halliwell instead of Hallowell. Same, but they're the same. In the year 1911, her brother has just been murdered a few months ago. Her mother was sent to a sanatorium shortly afterwards, and now she's working in kind of a workhouse. And so far as workhouses go, it's not a bad one. She's working as a seamstress, and one night her boss decides to drunkenly try to take advantage of her. He does try to assault her. That's when her magic awakens. She's already been beaten down. Her mother's been taken away from her. Her brother's been taken away from her, and she's pretty much left with nothing but to be a seamstress and live above, with all the other working girls, live above the shop, right? And now this man wants to take something else precious from her. The fire inside her just awakens, and her magic awakens. It does end up costing him his life, and during the investigation of his murder, who comes to her rescue but the Haxahaven. Sorry, I keep wanting to say Haxhaven, but it is Haxahaven. Haxahaven Sanatorium, which is basically, it's a school for witches. The sanatorium is their disguise. No one likes to go to a sanatorium where there might be patients with tuberculosis, especially not in 1911, right? So Frances thinks, yes, awesome. Finally, I have this power. I can do something with it. Just kidding, you have all this power, but you're a woman, so not really. And the school is, run by fellow women. And now these are women who live in fear. They do constantly bring up the witch trials. They do constantly bring up, like, you are a woman with power. Men fear that. So in order to keep all of us safe, we're not going to really teach you how to use your power for big things. You're only going to know how to use it for simple things like chores and needlework. How to take care of a home, basically. And so Frances thinks, wow, finally, she's going to have a chance to, be something, do something. Except, once again, she's left with nothing, no choices. The school is very restrictive. You understand the headmistress's point of view. People tend to fear women with power. Even in modern day, it's not like it's a new concept, but the headmistress just bring up, she's like, not too long ago my sister was burned alive, and it's just like she was using her power to help people, and men still sought to burn her down. So you understand, but I feel like you shouldn't live in fear completely. And that's what's going on in the story. She meets a boy, Finn, and he starts teaching her and Maxine and Lena real magic, magic of creation, magic that they can use for more than just needlework, but to use it to protect themselves and protect the people that they love. And one second. Sorry about that. My husband's cat was freaking out. But she's discovering that these three girls are discovering that they can use their magic, that there is more to their magic than just the restrictions everyone wants to put on them for being women. And I love that empowering theme is carried throughout the novel. It really does mirror the time, though. 1911. The suffrage movement is gaining traction. It's going on. Women are trying to fight just for the right to vote. And you're seeing the story, you're seeing it unfold, you're seeing it evolve, and it is very engaging to be reading it, honestly. And I love that I love that Frances and Maxine and Lena, they're taking the power in their own hands. They're just like, well, screw you guys. We're going to do what we need to do to protect ourselves, to protect the people we love. I like that. And I love how there really is some strong characterization. I want to say this first and foremost before I talk about the characterization. Lena's probably my favorite character. Not just the fact that she is Native American. I am part Native American. I'm very proud to be part Native American. On my grandfather's side, I am very proud to be part Native American. And his mother was 100% Native American, so I'm only 1/8, but I'm still very proud of this 1/8 that I have. And I love Lena, not just because of that, but she's given some of the best lines in the story. At first, all the girls are kind of very straight-faced, very somber, very stoic. You understand why, though. It's 1911. These women are in this school. They've been taken away from their homes to learn how to use magic, And the school is, really is kind of a prison in some way. They use, they use things to control these girls, and Frances soon learns that this isn't a haven, it's just a different type of prison. Because if you break the rules, well, then you're out. Sorry, we're going to cut all ties with you. We're going to let your magic burn up inside you and make it drive you crazy. We're not going to come help you. And that pisses Frances off. That pisses all the girls off. They're like, you're so worried about exposing us to the world, but if there is a witch out there in trouble, you don't go out there to help them. You just let them flounder. You let them burn. How are you any better than the people doing the burning? That's Frances's mentality. And I like that that's put into question. And Frances as well. Again, she has a lot of the most powerful lines in them. And one of them is this, Frances asked Lena why anyone would put her in a religious school that mistreats her and beats her and tries to pray the devil out of her. Smith does not shy away from the brutality of missionaries. Government took away the kids, put them in these hey, we know you're Native American, but we're going to take you and put you in these Catholic schools to try to convert you to Catholicism and Christianity. And it's just no. And this is Lena's response. It's 100% on the mark. How do you kill an entire people? You take away their children, you take away their language and their stories and their culture. And she proudly states, what tribe she's from, and she proudly states, they can't kill that, they can't take that away from me. And I found that to be amazing and incredibly empowering as far as the story goes, because it's so important. Erasure is, it's still going on today, and I think it's just, I don't know if Smith is part Native American or not. I don't really care, because I think she really hit it on the nose, the injustices that were done to Native American people. And just that one line, captures a lot of the pain that Native American people go through or went through and are going through now. They fight a lot to keep their culture and their beliefs alive, and I'm just in love with that. So I love this book, especially with Maxine, and you have Lena and Frances. Sorry, I keep getting their names mixed up, and I don't know why. Probably because Lena was probably my favorite. But for Frances, her story arc is very somber, and you feel it, whenever she's talking through her internal narrative, you're kind of feeling her pain, you're feeling her depression, you're feeling her angst. You're feeling her fury and frustrations come alive. They really do bleed off the pages. They really do connect to us as a reader. In fact, they really did connect to me. At first, I was like, she sounds a bit dull, but as you're, reading and reading and reading, and her pain and her frustrations are coming more and more alive, you're just like, wow, no, she's not dull. She's depressed. She's angry. And society from this time, and the school highlights it. They tell women, you have to repress those feelings. You have to repress those emotions, and finally when it explodes, damn, it explodes. And as for Maxine, it's hinted at that Maxine is, she comes from a wealthy family, right? But she says the school is her home. She doesn't want to go back to her wealthy family. Going back to her wealthy family means it's going to come with expectations. What are these expectations? Well, she's part of the LGBTQ community, as we see in this novel. Those expectations means she's going to probably have to marry someone she's not, doesn't love. I don't know the specifics of her. Maybe she's gender fluid. Maybe she's lesbian, maybe she's bi. I don't know. I know in this novel, at this point in her life, she loves other girls, And she said this, or at least she alludes to it. You can definitely see it in her context. The school's her home. She doesn't feel trapped there. It's really the only place she can be herself. Whereas, if she goes home, a wealthy family, she's probably expected to marry another wealthy man that she's probably not going to love. And you feel for her, because she traded one prison for another, but at least the school allows her to be free to live her truth. Whereas if she goes back home, all the money and wealth, those are just more chains and shackles that are going to keep her in the closet, where she clearly doesn't want to be. She is totally in love with being herself. She's feisty, and I love that. She is a feisty girl. I love that about her. So, it was a really good story. It had really strong characterization, very well paced. I will say Oliver's arc, I was a little iffy about it. He started out as just like kind of there. You don't really think anything's gonna come of his existence, and then he just keeps popping up, and you're just like, what? Why do you keep popping up? But overall, it was a good story. I did enjoy it, so I have to give it 4 out of 5 stars. Please remember to purchase the book from your local bookseller and online book retailer. If money's tight, check the book out from your local library. And on that note, I hope you all will continue to support me here by liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and sharing it with all your book loving friends. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. And as always, happy reading.